simple crochet tutorial. For this tutorial, I just wanted to share with you my super basic, ultra beginner friendly, anybody of any crochet skill level can make singlet design that I've been working on. I know we've been making a lot of tops lately, but you know, it's summer and the tops that we've made recently have been sort of complicated, so I thought super basic would be good for a change, something we can all do together, you know, have some fun. Yeah, so for this I'm using this lovely smoky teal mondial yarn. It's beautiful. These are 50-gram skeins and I'm going to be using 3 of them to make this singlet. So that. There's never a ply on the label, but what I can tell you is that for a square of 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters, it suggests using a 3.5 or a 4mm hook for this particular yarn. So yes, I'm using my 3.5. And that's what we're going to be doing. There's not a lot to say about this one for the introduction. It's going to be so simple, and I'm really pleased with it. It actually looks really nice once it's made. Yeah. Alright, so, if you like this video, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed, but you would like to subscribe to join me for some more tutorials, I would love to have you join me. Thank you to my patrons. I love and appreciate you. Thank you for believing in me, and thank you for supporting me. Not much else to say, really. I'm still working on my resin stuff at the moment. I'm making some jewellery, yeah. I'm probably going to post tutorials about that on the Green Narcissus channel, just because, yes, it's all coming along quite nicely, actually. I've made some hooks that are turning out really well, and I'm really excited about sharing those with everybody. I have collection designs coming up as well, so I've got an Autumn 2020 collection and a Halloween 2020 collection as well. So that's very exciting. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say. Let's just get right into making this singlet. Alright, so to begin with, I'm just going to quickly show you the label, show you what we're working with. So this is what we're working with. And please pause the video if you need a little more time to look at it. So we've got the grams, and then here's the tiny details. So that's it, that's what we're working with. Alright, now we're going to find the beginning of our yarn. This to the side. And here is the beginning, and we're going to start by making a slip knot. So that's just like this. Making a slip knot. Then, using my 3.5, I'm going to adjust that knot to the hook, just like this. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to be chaining a length that wraps around the top part of your chest and underneath your arms. So wraps around your torso in that spot and fits comfortably. So for me it's 130, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to chain a length that you can divide into roughly 4. So what it is for me, I'm using 30 stitches for the front and the back, and then 35 for each arm section. So that's what you're going to want to do. Roughly 5 stitches more on each arm should be fine. But yeah, that's what you're going to do. So roughly divide it up into sort of quarters, if you know what I mean. So, for me, like I said, 130 is like the perfect fit for just under my arms. You don't want it to be loose, but you also don't want it to be tight. So something that's just really comfortably fits around there and beneath your arms. So yeah, 130 for me. And to chain, we're going to do chain stitch, which is yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. And that's chain stitch. So for me, 130. Alright, now that I've done my 130 chains, I'm going to work my way back to the beginning of the chain, being really careful not to get that chain twisted, because it can be disastrous if you twist it. Alright, all the way back to the beginning, and here we are at the beginning. Now, we're going to slip stitch into the very first chain, so to do that, we just insert our hook into the first chain, just like this, and yarn over and pull through both of those chains. Alright, now our next step is to chain up 2, and we're going to be putting our double crochets into every chain around. So I'm going to do my first double crochet into that chain right beneath where we slip stitched, so right beneath that chain of 2. So it's going to be 1, and you're going to count however many chains you did, and you're going to do double crochets into all of those chains. So for me it's 130, and I'll meet you when we've done all our double crochets into all of our chains, and we'll talk about our next step. Alright, now that I've put my 130 double crochets around, I'm going to join the round by slip stitching into the top of the chain 2 from the beginning. So there's that chain 2, and I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of that to join the round. Just like that. Simple as that. Alright, now our next step is to chain up 2, and we're going to turn the work. And the reason I like to do this is because it stops the seam from drifting to the side. So we're chaining up 2, we're turning the work, and we're just going to be putting double crochets back in the other direction. So we don't put our first double crochet into that stitch directly beneath the chain 2. So not that one, just that. I don't know if you can see that. See that one? Not that first one, but the second one along. So we put our first double crochet into that one, because when we get to the end, our last double crochet or our last stitch is going to go into that stitch just there. So that's where the chain 2 is. Just going to be putting our last stitch into that one. So we do that for every round. And what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 more of these rounds of double crochets before we do something a little bit different. Yes, that's what we're going to be doing. So just like I said, double crochets back in the other direction, just like this, till you get to the other end. Once you get to the other end, you slip stitch into the top of the chain 2, chain up 2, turn the work, and do another one of these rounds. Do the same again, and then I will meet back up with you for round 4, and we'll talk about where to go from there. Alright, now that we've finished our 3 rounds, we're going to work on dividing everything up and doing the armholes. So if you manage to get a chain count that divides perfectly into quarters, that is excellent, because then you can do exactly the same amount of stitches for, you know, the front, the back, and the sides. But for me, because I did 130, I've done 30 for the front and 30 for the back, and then 35 for each side. So, and because I want the seam to be in the, okay, our next step is to focus the camera and chain up 2 again and turn. Now, because I want this seam to be in the middle at the back, I'm going to do 15 on either side of it. So to begin, I'm going to do 15 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3. So there's my 15 double crochets. Now, we've reached a point where we're going to do one of the armholes. So to do that, we're going to, well, I'm going to chain 35 and skip 35 stitches. So chain 35, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so here I am. I've done my chain of 35, and I'm skipping 35 stitches. So there's the skipping 35 stitches, and I'm going to put a double crochet straight into the 36th stitch. So yarn over, focus the camera, yarn over into that 36th stitch, double crochet straight from that chain. Where's my yarn? There it is. Oops. Double crochet straight from the chain, just like that. And there we go. Now that's going to be the first of the 30 stitches for the front. So working 30 stitches across, including that first one you did. So 1, 2, 3. That's 3. Alright, and there are my 30 stitches for the front. Now I'm going to once again chain 35. Alright, now there is our chain of 35, and we're skipping those 35 stitches after that. And here's our 36th. So we once again double crochet into that 36th stitch. So that one just there. 36, and because for me there should be 15 more stitches till the end of the round. No, 14 more, sorry. I'm going to put in my 14 more, which will complete the back. So that's 15 including the stitch in the 36. So yeah, put in the rest of your stitches till the end of the round. We'll meet back up and we'll talk about what we're going to do after that. Alright, here we are, and I've slip stitched into the top of that chain 2 from the beginning of the round. Now once again, I'm going to chain up 2. So chaining up 2, we're going to turn the work again, and you'll put in however many double crochets it was till the end of the round from that chain. You're going to put those double crochets in. So for me, I'm going to do 15 double crochets till I reach the chain. Alright, so here I am at the chain. And all I'm going to do from here is work double crochets into the chain, so however many you did, which for me is 35. So I'll be doing 35 double crochets along this chain. So making sure to get that tricky first one. Sometimes it can be a little bit tricky. I don't know if that's just for me or it's the same for everyone. So double crochets all the way along into all of those chains. Alright, and there's all my double crochets into that chain, so that's what that's going to look like. Now, just working your 30 double crochets into the front, so moving straight into the next stitch along. Hang on, let me show you that there. Yarn over, straight into the next stitch, so there should be 30 for me for the front. Or however many stitches you have for the front, work those double crochets along till you get to the next chain. You're going to do the same thing for, you're going to do the same as you did for the chain that you just did then. Put your double crochets into that chain till you get to the last stitches at the back. Complete the last stitches till the end of the round. I will meet back up with you there, and we'll have a little bit of a look at what it's going to look like, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do after that. Okay, see you soon. Alright, now here I am at the end of the round, and I'm just going to slip stitch into the chain 2 from the beginning. So slip stitching into the beginning chain 2 to close the round, and this is what it's going to be looking like. So these are the sleeves or the shoulder straps, obviously, and this is going to be the body. So what we do now is put our hook back in, and our next step is to chain up 2, turn the work, and now you're just going to be putting double crochets into every stitch all the way around, slip stitching into the chain 2 at the beginning, chaining up another 2, turning the work, and you're going to continue doing that until you've grown the body to the length that you're happy with. And really, that's all there is to it. This is the most unfussy design I think I've ever come up with. There's really not a lot to it. It's quick, it's simple, and it can be however you want it to be. You can make the front stitch count less, you can make the side stitch counts less, so long as there's enough room for the arms. But yeah, it's so easy to modify for, exactly how you want it to be. Yeah, so we're going to finish this pretty quickly, I think, and then once we've finished, we're going to try on our singlets. We're going to see how they look. I'm sure they're going to look lovely, and yes, I look forward to seeing you then. And I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. You will see me at the end wearing the singlet, so I'll talk to you then. But until then, I hope you have a nice time. Just, sit down, get comfortable, wherever you are. If you're in the heat, I hope you stay cool. If you're in the cold, I hope you stay warm. And just, do some relaxing crochet. Alright, I will see you soon when we try on our singlets. See you soon. Alrighty, here it is, all finished. I love this singlet. I'm so happy with it. It's so comfortable to wear, and it was so easy to make and so quick, and it's just everything I wanted it to be. So I'm really, really pleased with how this turned out. Definitely want to be wearing out in public. Yes. So if you've liked this tutorial, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed but you would like to subscribe to join me for some more tutorials, I would love to have you join me. And thank you for watching. See you soon.